is nothing luxurious about settling. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm doing a tag started by Kat L. Thanks so much, Kat, for tagging me. This is the luxury time machine where I'm just gonna go through and sort of chat about looking back on my luxury collection and if I have any regrets, and as well as like things that I think that I did okay. So this is going to be super fun. If you had a luxury time machine, what would you say to your past self? What would you change? What would you keep the same? What would you have bought? What would you have left in the store? I want to hear all of that, so comment those down below and let's get started with a couple of mine. First and foremost, I want to pat myself on the back for not going crazy with an SLG collection. I know myself, and I only ever want to have a collection full of things that I use and rotate within my life and lifestyle regularly. There was a small fraction of a time where I was tempted to start participating and engaging in like having a piece from every single collection, and I just realized how unsustainable that was for not only but my budget, but how I just realized that it just didn't make sense for what I needed. I watched myself in action, and I don't like changing in and out of wallets. I actually hate it. So for someone like me, it wouldn't make sense to have like 7 million card holders when like right now I have 2. 2 is plenty. I have what I regulate my collection to is what I know I will use regularly, and that doesn't have to mean every single day. It doesn't even have to mean every single month, but I just do want to know that I'm rotating things into my daily life enough to justify keeping it. And there's no possible way I'd be able to justify having like every single color of, you know, cosmetic pouch and wallet and card holder. I just find that for me, it would be not only for me a waste of money personally, but just an accumulation of things that I could never hope to use. I don't need I don't really view the interior of my bag as like part of the accessory, whereas a lot of other collections do, and that's great. But that's just not a thing for me, and I'm just really glad that I'm just really glad that I caught on to that not being a good strategy and good idea for myself personally pretty early on. So props to me on that. My next one is a regret. This is something that I would have done differently. One of the first videos on my channel was an unboxing for the Gucci Dionysus monogram chain wallet. I bought that from Gilt for a really, really good price, especially considering that right when Gucci had announced that they weren't going to be having semi-annual sales any longer. So I was super proud of myself for that, and I found it, and I actually did use that thing a lot, but that is where I discovered that I don't want to change in and out of a wallet. I don't want to be moving my credit cards around. That's not for me. And I'll leave that video link down below. But the reason that I regret buying that bag is because what I really wanted was the Dionysus in the medium. So what I saw instead was a close enough approximation to it at a much lower price that even had the added bonus of being on sale. So I thought that would wet my whistle. I thought that would be enough, and it turned out to not be. What I should have done was just continued saving for the thing that I wanted, which was this. I didn't end up getting this bag until a couple of years after that, which means that I spent a good portion of years wanting this bag, not having it, when I could have been enjoying and using it. Instead, I decided to chicken out and get a little wallet on chain that really just did not work for me at all in my collection. I don't regret necessarily that I don't necessarily regret that I bought the bag to begin with, but I guess the point is just buy the thing that you like. Don't try to appease yourself with like something else entirely if you really, really trust yourself and figure out that you love something. Okay, here's something that I don't regret. I don't regret not starting my Chanel collection sooner. I always see that chart out there that says in 2008, the Chanel Jumbo cost $1,800. Today, that same bag costs $7,400. In theory, a person who would have gotten in and bought a Chanel Jumbo, if they wanted to sell it now, they would be well within like making money on it potentially. This is the concept of the investment bag, which I don't believe in, and here's why. In 2008, this girl sitting right here was just graduating high school and starting college. I was 17 years old. I spent that summer working between the dollar store and Sonic 7 days a week and was able to accumulate in 3 months $1,000 that very quickly dried up when it came time for me to buy dorm supplies at Target. Where the hell was I getting $1,800 in 2008? So the fact is that with certain things, you know, we wish we can turn back time and do things differently. There was no possible way at that time in my life that a Chanel bag would have ever been an option for me. I could choose to beat myself up about, you know, not having $2,000 to spend on a purse as a teenager, but what is the purpose of that? That said, this is gonna be my third one. I had my eye on a single flap maxi in caviar with silver hardware for a really, really long time. I wanted to buy one on the pre-loved market, and for years they were going for about $3,000. Currently, the maxi retails at $8,000, which is way more than I think I would ever pay for a bag, at least in my current situation and lifestyle. But given these price increases, I do feel like the time for me and a classic Chanel of any kind has run out. I just find that I definitely wish that I would have gotten that bag. I would have gotten the single flat maxi at an earlier time when they were still going for the low price of $3,000, which I also didn't have at the time. Now to find something in like decent, okay condition, you're talking about $5,000, close to $6,000, and I honestly feel like the time has run out for me to be able to have one of those bags in decent and acceptable condition. Decent and acceptable is not good. I mean decent and acceptable. Yeah, there's just kind of a disconnect now between spending Chanel prices and getting something at market value, and it has firmly been decided that the market value for a Chanel maxi is anywhere from $45,000 to $7,000 to $8,000, and I just can't imagine myself personally spending $4,500 on the low end. A maxi at $4,500 would look like shit. Especially if I were to like somehow luck into one at $3,000, it would look like shit. And I just can't fathom spending $3,000 on something and it not being in at least good condition. And that currently is something that I have accepted about the Chanel market, but that means I'm not going to be able to participate, unfortunately. So I don't know where that falls on regret or not regret, but it is what it is.